Hey everyone, it's Clint. Welcome to Sweetcast cell phone video. Disclaimer though, first, you might hear children screaming in the background. I am not a neglectful parent. They're playing. I've checked and double checked, and they're, I don't know, screaming. So thanks for your patience. Uh, I've got Jawbreakers here, I've got Ninja Turtles, and that's because I have a point to make, and the point has to do with book franchises and specifically independent comics. Now, I've heard you boy Zack talk a little bit, especially lately, about uh, how he ended Jawbreakers and it had to end at a certain point, but then he decided he's going to bring them all back to life again, so on and so on. And I think I know exactly what's going on. I know he likes to say that he's being big brained about it, or galaxy brain, whatever he likes to say. Uh, so one, it could be that there's this artistic reason in that I have this story. There's a beginning and there's an end, and it needs to end this way. That's the story, and then it's over. But in the case of a franchise, while it might be true that there is a story that needs to be told and it has an ending, as far as a franchise goes, it's a world and it's a set of characters. And you can return to this world and those characters and tell more and more stories. It's very effective. That's why there are so many film franchises. That's why there are so many, comic book characters that have lasting legacies, and that's because they've returned back to the world and those characters. They've built it out more. They've developed everything. They've really put a lot of effort into making them what they are. So my point is, I think my hot take is, I think because you've sold people on Jawbreakers, I think it's a great idea to return to Jawbreakers and put your best ideas here. Obviously, that makes sense. Why? Because I already have two books. I bought the third one. I'm already sold on the concept, and not only that, I want to see it become something great. I want it to see it compete with franchises that were in other indie comics realms, but also, mainstream Marvel, DC. I want to see this standing up there and people to know who the Jawbreakers are, because I don't know, I feel a part of that. I've gotten a personal investment in it because I bought two books. That's all it took. So I'm going to do a little bit of speculation here and filling in the dots. I think that because Zack has this ultimate freedom of doing independent comics and presumably knowing how he's going to get funding to pay for the production of comics, he's got endless opportunity, endless decisions as far as creatively. He's got all these decisions he can make. But in all that freedom, it can be a bit of a problem. I think he is addressing the same issue that I am. And that is, are you going to be doing a bunch of different one-shot kind of stories, or are you going to put those stories into a single franchise, or maybe two franchises or three? I just think it's natural when if you worked for Marvel. I'm thinking of Daredevil. Oh gosh, why did I forget his name? Cell phone video. Frank Miller. Frank Miller got to work on Daredevil, and when he did, he basically didn't have any options. He was going to work on Daredevil, and he had to hit it out of the park. That's what he had to work with. So he put his best ideas into it because you have to shine. He wanted to work in comics. If this is the franchise, if you got hired by Splatto and they said you're on the Jawbreakers, you would be forced to put every idea into it because that's all you have to work with. I'm running into the same thing because I thought with Downcast I could end the thing. I did sort of end it. I have a lot of other ideas that I had some big epic story arc, big. So it'd be like three main story arcs, and it was going to be this big thing. But I wasn't sure that people would stick around. Why? Because I made some mistakes. I was learning. I wasn't sure if I had basically ruined the franchise, because it wasn't perfect. But whenever I think about comics and franchises, uh, that's never been part of the expectation that they're always perfect. That every story arc is 100%. It's in its totality. There are things you love about it. So I wanted to get another independent comic series, and no joke, or no surprise, I love the Ninja Turtles, so I talk about them a lot. But if you were to see this in a book today, and you didn't know anything about the Ninja Turtles, this was brand new, this was the double page spread you had, would that sell it if this was on Indiegogo? Would you buy it? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Is this the best story? Which one's this? Donatello? No. This is not the best story, though he's the best turtle. Of these miniseries, I love this Leonardo one. It's a great one. Again, is this competing with the mainstream? Is this top-notch artwork? I mean, I love it. It's hard for me to be objective about this because, again, there's just so much nostalgia attached to it. I love the Ninja Turtles. But I guess the point I'm trying to make here is that in its totality, the Ninja Turtles is a fantastic franchise. There's a lot to love about it. But there's also a lot of mistakes. Especially in some of these early books, there's a lot of mistakes and a lot of things that, would not be competing with the mainstream, or, in and of themselves, they're not what make the Ninja Turtles a great franchise. But over time, the characters, people are sold on the characters and the potential that they have. People are sold on the world, whatever else. But that's the franchise. So my case, I guess, to Zack is, I think that you should pretend that you were put on a book. Splatto is a company that hired you, and they hired you to write Jawbreakers and, I don't know, two other franchises, we'll say. So you got 3 total. I know he's working with Chuck Dixon too. Put Chuck Dixon to work. I love his stuff. I loved the story he did here in Jawbreakers too. That's great. But I think having your focus be on what can I do to this franchise and put your best ideas into it, I think that's how you're going to make the Jawbreakers stand side by side with any other independent comics franchise or any other mainstream comic franchise. I think that I want to see that happen personally. So I don't know. I think I have a little bit of a different perspective on this because I get the decision process. I understand what I'm guessing. I'm making some assumptions, but this video is kind of for me because I thought about this a lot in how do I tell stories? How do I package these crowdfunding campaigns? And I think really the answer, I think Ethan has it right in focusing on Cyberfrog. Honestly, I think that was a smart idea of him to be building out that franchise because it takes so much work and time and effort to do it for one franchise. So I don't know, do it, I guess. Do it all the way. That's what I'm saying. So thanks for listening. Appreciate you all. And I'm going to upload this. See you in the next video. Bye.